Hey everybody, welcome to Spoiler Warning. I'm Chris.
I'm Josh.
I'm Seamus.
And I'm... What the fuck are you wearing?
Yeah, I guess Rutskarn hasn't been on the show for a while, and he missed the whole happy fun samurai with a chef hat.
What the fuck? Wait, and you've got the chef... did I just see that Janasa has, like, a bird's nest on her head?
Oh yeah, she's got a Forsworn armor. Also, in the interim between the two episodes, or between last episode and this one, because I figured you guys would not want to watch 20 minutes of me looking around for this, I went and got Janessa some soul trap weapons and gave her all my soul gems so that she can fill those up.
That's actually pretty cool. Like, you could do that.
Yeah.
I never thought
Yeah,
of
it's a
doing
really ussul way for, I just got an empty wine bottle. Cool! It's a really useful thing to have
To waste a lot of soul gems really quickly?
Oh, to get a bunch of soul gems filled really quickly.
Because that's the great thing about NPCs is that they're very discriminating about their target.
Well,
Yes.
they tend to hit everything with them, and it's really annoying to use the actual soul trap spell, because then you have to, like, kill something. And it's really annoying to use a soul trap weapon yourself, because you want to have a weapon with, like, better stuff on it, so...
Yeah, that's basically what it is. It's delegation. Nobody actually wants to farm souls. It has to happen. It's like nobody actually wants to mine coal, you know? Except
I don't know, after...
I think
was just
that
gonna
souls
say,
are
after
more
doing this
renewable
shit-
resource.
Oh, I was gonna say, after watching this game for a few weeks, I'm starting to think, I wonder if I could get on a podcast that just involves coal mining instead of watching more Skyrim. I should look into that.
Oh god, this is becoming a Fallout season now. Congratulations.
I see. I missed 2 weeks, so I'm still chock-a-bursting with interesting things to talk about. Although I did start
All
my
right.
Elder Scrolls series on my website.
Hello.
So
I linked it, and I will link it again, because that could be linked more than once. The internet allows
yes,
for that.
it is an ongoing process. With any luck, because I say with any luck because I'm deliberately, especially since I'm in the crunch time with Unrest, not worrying super hard about which days posts go up. I'm just trying to get both of them done each week. But hopefully the last post in the Arena series should be coming up. I spent 3 posts talking about Arena so far. Or, I will anyway, with the next one. So I kind of wonder how long I'm going to be spending talking about Skyrim. Because, you know, Arena, it's not a super complicated game.
So, apparently Janessa has, like, the most commentary about dungeons, because before we started the episode, she said something about, like, oh, it's amazing, these ruins of the ancient Dwemer, and then she said something different just now. Janessa, come on. Are we really gonna have to do this? Just gonna... Alright.
You could
Thank
actually
you.
just... They actually do have a system where you could tell her to go somewhere else.
Takes too much time. I don't believe that Soul Trap even works on these guys, but
I'm
we'll
sure
see.
she appreciates the effort.
So, just
Actually, I'll
for
see, how many
context,
charges does
what...
that have?
Why are we here? I've totally lost the plot of this game, which is shameful on my part because it's not that.
We need an Elder Scroll at some point. I can't remember if this is to get the Elder Scroll or to get somebody...
Okay, what's happening is we need an Elder Scroll. Septimus Cygnus knows where one is, so he sent us down here
course
to
he
go
does.
get this and fill a lexicon.
Looking for food? This one wasn't trapped with us.
Yeah,
So it's a filler quest.
I'm a cat, dude, and you're hitting me with a wood axe. It's too bad we don't have any black soul gems.
This is kind of a recent trend on the part of the Elder Scrolls developers to feel the pressure to actually include Elder Scrolls at some point in their franchise.
I should probably use a...
Yeah, was there any in Morrowind? I don't remember one in
I
Morrowind,
think
and
like,
I
they
didn't.
mention the Elder Scrolls in the intro, although I'm not even sure in retrospect.
Yeah, but you don't
Literally, when they
see
came
one.
up with, literally when they came up with the Elder Scrolls, they had no idea what that meant. Like when they implemented that in Arena, like they're like, we can't call it Arena anymore because it's not about arena fighting. They're like, actually, we have to call it that because it's printed on all of our shit, and we're poor as fuck. And they're like, oh, so we have to call it Arena? Can we call it the Elder Scrolls 1 Arena? Yeah, why? What's the Elder Scrolls? I don't fucking know, man. So, it's basically the Elder... As part of we're making this up as we go along, and we're making up new shit every time. I guess that at some point they've decided that they're going to start having Elder Scrolls in their Elder Scrolls games, and that's...
A lot of them. A lot of them. Like, you clean out the lint trap in your dryer in this game, and you're like, another friggin' Elder Scrolls. Alright, I'm going to put it down here. Kids, do not mess with this one. You'll go blind. Just leave it alone. I'll take it to Bellathor.
It's funny, because that actually happened.
You know, I had the titular line in Elder Scrolls, you know, I'm just so tired of all these Elder Scrolls, and that was the titular line.
Okay.
You guys don't watch UCB, do you?
No.
No idea what that is.
That's because it's a 10-year-old Comedy Central show. Never mind. Someone in the comments will get it. They'll get a cookie.
This is not cool.
There's a picture on the internet somewhere of just like sort of a grandpa sitting in front of a computer with his mouse, and it's just called The Elder Scrolls. I have to admit that got me.
In that case,
neither
it
of these soul
probably
gems
needs
I got from
somebody...
these guys would be filled soul gems, because that wouldn't make any sense.
In that case, the Elder Scrolls would come to mean somebody who is scrolling up and down the page by mousing over and using the scroll bar and not their scroll wheel.
Yep. If you told me that when you click on the scroll bar of a web page it makes like a farting noise, I'd believe you. Because
yeah, like...
I haven't touched one since 1999.
So, there's some cool, like, dwarven scrap metal you can find in all these ruins. Tons of it. You get, like, Dwemer cogs and pans and shit. And you think, like, oh, all of these must be stuff I can melt down into dwarven metal ingots. But no, actually, in fact, it's only a very few specific ones. And they are all ones that weigh the least. And all the other ones that weigh tons of weight don't have any purpose whatsoever, and they're complete junk, and nobody wants them.
Slow the fuck up. Did you just straight up do a portal puzzle to get up to the secret area?
Yep.
That's, you know what, I respect that.
So this is all coming back to me now.
But anyway, I do kind of miss in Morrowind how these Dwemer Ruins were full of cool shit. Like, not useful shit, just cool shit that you'd put in your house.
Yeah. I know I've gone over this before. Everybody had the one thing that everybody has the one thing that they hoard. In Morrowind, the thing I hoarded was those paper lanterns, because that was the first time I'd ever had a video game where you had a placeable by the player light source, and so I gathered them all up and put them in my house and made the place like super bright, and I thought it was awesome.
Isn't there supposed to be a way up here?
I like the schematics because even though they were bastards to arrange in ways that they didn't clip with the geometry for some reason, like you laid them out and it looked like you were into some really weird shit.
Yeah. I also like putting piles of coins on the table, because it's like if you put 4 coins down, it makes this little pile that looks like about 100. So I'd painstakingly place all, you know, $30 on the table, but it looks like this mountainous heap of gold. All the stupid stuff I did back then. Like, I really didn't do anything like that in Skyrim, but I did a lot of that in Morrowind.
See, and you know, part of the reason is that you'd really feel like Oblivion and Skyrim would give you more freedom to arrange your personal spaces. Because, you know, like, they've got physics engines, but that's kind of the problem. You've got a physics engine without the means to meaningfully manipulate it, and everything's too fiddly. In Morrowind, it was very easy to create displays and make everything look just so and lived in and natural. You know, even though you only had one set orientation for any given object. Whereas in Skyrim, it feels like every object is inside an invisible hamster ball, and the best you can do is just kind of stack the hamster balls.
Yes, and then once you get it, you spend 5 minutes getting it right where you want it, and then you walk in the door next time and everything flies off the shelf for no reason.
If that is what you wish.
And lands on the floor. Yeah, it's really
I don't even know how they'd go about fixing that, but I wish they would.
There's gotta be a way to fix that.
It's just, it falls squarely under the, like, purview of shit Bethesda doesn't really care about. And I guess we can't really, like,
Maybe all my
get too mad at
ingredients,
them for
that'll take
that.
care of stuff.
But it's just
hate some of
increasingly, every game comes out with more and more of those. Where, like, something I liked is gone, but, you know, people aren't really gonna miss it, because why would you play Skyrim as, like, this is your first Elder Scrolls game, and, like, you know, do all these quests and fight dragons and, like, run around and, like, you know, unlock dragon shouts and freeze time, and then go, I really wish I could just, like, spend 10 minutes making a book stack.
So it
Yeah,
turns
like, I
out that
can't
was
blame
where all my inventory space was going, is these tons of tiny little ingredients that I've been collecting.
Lead on then.
That's weird.
Wow, Josh, it's almost like when you pick up tons of tiny bullshit, it adds up.
Yeah, but
I
it
don't
doesn't in this game
understand
normally. That's
basic
weird.
economics. Ooh, we got high braces of alchemy. That
Yeah, well,
also
Josh
solves
just
the problem
tries
of I don't have an
harder.
alchemy enchant. What the fuck is happening?
Well, it's just weird that like this game counts stuff like you picked up a bunch of tulip blossoms that are worth 5, you know, endurance or whatever for their alchemy stat,
Oh,
and that
sweet.
weighs you down. But like you can carry infinite arrows because you know arrows don't weigh anything in the default version of Skyrim.
Oh, I must be playing the
There
mod.
are scholars in Cyrodiil who have dedicated
Don't arrows weigh?
Yeah.
I thought arrows
Hey, check
weighed.
this
No,
out.
no, you are absolutely right. Default vanilla Skyrim arrows are weightless.
That was less awesome than I thought.
Because that's a Bethesda thing in general. Ammo is almost always weightless, like even in Fallout. Somebody take
Not
a crack.
in Morrowind, I know arrows definitely had weight, and I know that because like I think they did in Oblivion too, but I can't honestly super remember. I didn't like playing Archer in Oblivion. It's like all your weapons felt pitiful enough, and like the bow
Yes.
somehow felt even more pitiful if you couldn't get sneak attack hits.
Okay. I know Oblivion is not the most popular game here, but Morrowind's weapons felt way weaker until you leveled them up to an obscene level because it would be like walking up to a mud crab and going slash 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 us hit slash 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 hit.
Oh,
and it's like
the
Oh,
missing
at that
is
point
terrible.
Yeah, at
The
that
only
point that
things-
didn't.
Yeah, the only things that redeemed Morrowind were the fact that the weapons scaled to much higher damages, that you could get those weapons at much lower levels, and that, you know, once you hit that point, you're doing tons of damage. Morrowind is no fucking fun at
Oh,
all
and great
until
sword.
you get
Ah,
good.
God damn it.
Like, not until you get good as a player, but until your character gets good by
Yeah.
rolling enough dice. Like,
Morrowind,
rolling dice over and over again until you're good enough.
How does that compare to my...
Morrowind is just
Alright.
so miserable until you get those first couple of levels that let you hit somebody, that let you walk, you know, faster than a baby can crawl, that let you hop higher than a dandelion. Like that
fairness-
first hour of the game is terrible.
In fairness, though, that really does make you feel like a god by the end of the game, where you start
Yes.
literally like missing mud crabs 9 out of 10 times with a dagger, and by the end of the game, you're literally taking on elder gods. And in Skyrim, it's like from the outset, you're basically invincible, and you just become more invincible, and then you know whatever.
Morrowind is the game, definitely, out of any of the games in the franchise, where you could get the most powerful, or feel the most powerful. Like, Jin just beat
Yeah.
the game.
The biggest,
And her character
yeah, the
was
biggest
level
delta.
71. And her character was level 71. And in the final boss fight, her character was reflecting 100. All of her stats were at 100 except luck. Because you can't level luck up that much unless you're very careful, which she didn't know to do in the beginning. She, like, actually was really upset
like
about that.
Despite
she
the
was always
fact that this
flying.
place is thousands of years old, they have an not
forge
only
is lit.
working blacksmith forge, but it's the exact same sort of
Lit?
blacksmith forge you find everywhere.
and yet it casts no light because what?
Yep.
She was flying. She was 100% immune to any kind of spell. In fact, she reflected them back. You know, she was 50% immune to regular weapons. She was invisible whenever she wanted to be. You know, just could breathe underwater. It's just she had no weaknesses, and she had a sword which dealt 200 damage whenever she hit anybody with it, and she never ran out of charges for it. Like, that was the position she was in. It's like, you just can't get there in any other Elder Scrolls game.
Yeah, combat in... Well, it was terrible in Oblivion. Oblivion felt like a LARP. I mean, just even in the late game, it just, like... Nothing feels like you're hurting anybody. And in this game, you feel powerful, but you kind of always feel powerful. And you don't ever get to feel more powerful.
Yeah.
Well, that's actually a really good way of putting it. It's like a LARP. You've got this sword, which is effectively like a kayak paddle, and you know, it looks big and shiny. You swing it to somebody, and it doesn't really. They don't really seem to notice it. They just make like kind of a grunt, and then they shout a terrible cliche Hackney phrase at you. I also did always. I think I've bitten a few people off by. I insist that Lucien Lachance looks exactly like a LARPer. He looks exactly like a guy who's LARPing as the head of the Dark Brotherhood.
I love this idea.
You sleep soundly for a murderer. Do you want to join my guild? You get 5 bonus style points at every refresh.
So these ruins are kind of cool initially, but they get really old as you go through multiple ones. Especially since you fight Falmer in them, and that's really fucking annoying, and I hate fighting Falmer.
Falmer. I've mentioned before that I played hardcore games, you know, where if I die, game over, roll a new character. And I think about half of all my characters died to Falmer. They are bastards. They hit so hard, and they don't particularly mind damage. They are not easy to kill.
Also interesting, you can't sneak by them with invisibility potions, which actually reinforces the idea that they're totally blind. Like they're only tuned to the hearing you, which means I might be able to sneak up on them with muffle.
I kind of thought invisibility was dodgy in general in this game.
Yeah. Well, it's really dumb. You're only invisible when you're ooh, hello dwarven armor. You're only invisible when you're crouching. If you're standing up, then you're not invisible.
Oh, it's so fucking stupid. Because you can see it like you crouch. It's not even like, you know, you're walking around crouched and you're like, okay, I guess I'm just moving silently. It's like you crouch. It's like, oh, where the fuck did he go?
Oh, hey, you're fighting something out here.
I think if you're going to include a game where you have a spell that does invisibility, you need to accept that invisibility is broken and just get the fuck over it.
Yes.
Because it's like if you go invisible, that's game ruining. So just make it so it's a short duration spell.
Not if you have a decent sound modeling system, or if you like did things like if you're carrying a torch, they see you, or if you fire a weapon that makes noise.
Sure, but Bethesda has no interest in that shit.
No.
Yeah, they can't even begin to think about that.
Wait, why are we wearing the dwarven armor?
Because I like the Blades armor better.
Oh.
Also, I think the protection is pretty similar. Armor might be slightly better, but what the hell? Oh yeah, egg sacs.
How do you pronounce that word?
Sack?
No. No. Those egg sacs. What is that creature called?
Chaurus?
Chaurus. Okay, that is how I said it, but every time I said it, it felt wrong. Chaurus. I'll bet I'm saying that wrong.
You should not be standing there, Janessa.
Yeah, I was like one of those words that I'll bet you it's just
she,
completely counterintuitive.
That's the third unique thing she said about this. Okay, this is the part that always kills your companion. So, Janessa, what we're going to do here... Come over here. Alright, we got a way to get you up past this.
Can we just rename
little
our
push.
companion Pugsley
Oh, shit.
Adams and get it over with?
Oh god. Janessa,
That-
no!
Oh, that didn't work.
That did not work.
Good job, Wednesday.
Managed to bullseye the button. Alright, we'll just run past it. She'll get up here eventually.
She'll teleport to your
Oh,
side
shit,
eventually.
there's a...
You know, I'm glad that Bethesda also liked Half-Life 2. You know, one thing that actually struck me, I was replaying Half-Life 2 and I got to the part that has, like, the slope where there's
Oh,
the
yeah,
mine
this
part
part.
that races up and down with the spinning blade on it. Is like,
This is always fun. Watch this. Yeah!
Ah! Ah! What are you doing? No! Why?
Actually, if we wanted to skip this place, I could do,
this
I
is
could
totally
do
what I
Campster's
did,
favorite
which
shout.
Oh, that's awesome.
Also, is it
Become a
scary?
Fuck
serial.
you
You're
guys! But actually, there is some loot here that we could get that's kind of... Oh god. There's like a million dudes. This could
Yeah.
actually be bad.
You done
You
screwed
think?
up, pal.
What you just did
I used your
without
favorite
the
thing,
turning
and you were
ethereal-
like, oh.
What you just did without the turning ethereal part was basically how I played all of Oblivion every time.
Look, I advocate using turn ethereal responsibly. This was an irresponsible use of turning ethereal.
Very irresponsible.
See, in Oblivion, you just didn't take the falling damage was actually really kind of screwy, like more so than it was in the other games. So you could just survive
no.
very high falls very quickly to the point where when I streamed the game, for people who were unfamiliar with Oblivion, they were they just kept thinking that I was trying to kill myself because I'd just be like. Without even thinking about it, I'd be like, I'm over here, I want to be 50 feet down, and just walk off of this ledge. And they'd just be like, how the fuck did he survive that? He's literally level 1.